So for this question, they're saying use a graphing tool, and I would highly recommend, and all math teachers nowadays are recommending a website called Desmos.com. You can also get an app of Desmos.com, but if you go to Google and just type in Desmos.com, you'll get let's see here. Let's do that. Desmos.com. You can get this graphing calculator. You can log in order to save your graphs if you ever want to save them, or you can just use it without logging in. And so all you have to do when you're looking for the solution to a problem, to a system of equations, here's the quiz here. You're just going to put in, so what I'm going to do is plug in, and let me go back over to this so I can write on it. I'm going to write this equation in, and I'm going to write this equation into the Desmos.com calculator. And it's going to graph it for me. And what I'm going to look for is where the two lines intersect. Wherever that is, so here's the x-axis and here's the y-axis, let's say. So let me draw this again. When you're looking for a solution to a system of equations, I'm going to draw this x and a y, and I make the different color. Let's say one line, and I'm just making this up right now. This is not reflecting number 5 here. I'm just showing you what a solution would be, what that means. Let's say one line looks like that, and then one line looks like that. Okay, so because you're going to have two lines here with two equations. So where they, and it's also called functions, so where they intersect right here, that's called the solution. That is, and so this is what you're trying to look for here. Whatever this coordinate would be, whatever the x and the y coordinate is, where they're intersecting and they're coming together, that's going to be the solution to this system of equations. System meaning there's two. Instead of just having one equation, you have two equations. That's a system. So just a little bit of vocabulary there. But that's going to come up a lot in algebra. So just remember that this is, you're going to keep getting practice, but that's the system of equations. They're just two lines. And then when you're looking for the solution for a system of equations, you're looking to where they intersect together. You're going to, pretty soon, you're going to start looking at inequalities, and that's something that I talked about that a little bit later. You'll see it in the lessons coming up. But this is just kind of going forward a little bit. But basically, instead of having the equal sign, you might have a greater than sign, and then in that case, your solution, let's say that's greater than, and then this is less than, and let's say. I'm just making this up again because I haven't quite solved this equation yet, but let's say this is the red one, the red line, and this is saying that the line is greater than, so then you go above the line that you've made. It's greater than. Let's pretend like this is the orange line and you're doing a less than, then everything below this line is the solution to that equation. So when you're trying to find the solution in this kind of problem, you're looking to see where does it intersect. It's not going to be a point anymore, it's going to be a whole area. And so let me show you what this solution for this problem, you'd have to kind of draw it. It would be where these two overlapped, the orange and the red overlapped. That's the solution to that system of equations. But that's coming up. This is not right now. Right now we're working with, in fact it was in Algebra 1A as well, but right now we're looking at just the equal sign. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you Desmos.com so that we can get the actual lines here, not just ones I'm making up. So let's go over to Desmos, and I have these equations already written down, and so and this is the app, but it looks exactly the same on the website. So I'm just going to go with over down here, I'm going to put x minus 2y See how I'm putting it up on the top left here? X minus 2y equals negative 4 was one of those in that problem. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, so I have it handy for myself. So there we go. X minus 2y equals negative 4. That's what that line looks like. You can see where it intersects the x and the y axis here. They're showing that point and this point. So you got those 2 points. And that was something that was on this quiz too, where you're earlier on where you were trying to find the intersections and the zeros and the solutions for just one line. It was when you're looking for just when or when you're trying to draw a line, a lot of times it's really helpful just to plug in 0 for x, and then you can get the y easily, and vice versa. Anyway, so but that's just another aside. I don't want to confuse you too much. So we're going to put in another expression, which was the other one, 13x plus 6y equals negative 30. Okay, so now we got both of our lines here, and we can see right here where they intersect is the solution. Oh wait, you know what? This is not right. This should be negative 30. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't go in right. So the solution is where they intersect right here. I'm going to write that down. Negative 2.625 is my x, and my y 0.688, and that is the exact solution to this system of equations. But if we go back over to the quiz, they're asking for an estimate because it might be that different graphing tools may not give you the exact coordinates like they just did in Desmos. Maybe it's only a visual that you can only see where they're intersecting. You kind of have to guess where they are on the XY axis. But in this case, we use Desmos, which is, again, I would highly recommend using Desmos as much as you can for any kind of graphing that you need to do. And then we get the exact answer. But they're asking for an estimate, so let me put what I had. Let's see here. Take this away, put it over here. What I wrote down from the Desmos was negative 2.625 and 0.688. So now I got to figure out which one of these is closest to that. Well, the negative 2.625, this one and this one are closest for that coordinate, for the x. And then 0.688, that's actually, so we got these two choices. This one is closer. So that's actually this would be the answer to the estimate for the solution to the system. Because again, using some graphing tools, you're not going to get the exact like what we got in Desmos. So yeah, just continue to ask questions if you have them, and specific questions is the best. So on this quiz, number 5 was missed. So that's why it's so great to let me know what you've missed exactly. Try going through the lessons. Try the best you can to do the quizzes as many times as, we have 3 attempts on every quiz. If you still have a low score, then I can go in to your quiz and look and see what you missed and explain it to you. So for this number 5, I'm explaining it to you. I'm going to just have you write to me an email to say, okay, I understand, and I'm going to use the Desmos calculator now for my problems, and I will go ahead and give you credit for number 5, even though I just showed you how to get this solution. But normally when you do a test or a quiz correction, you'll want to show me the work. But I'm okay with doing it this way as long as you're really learning, and I can give you the credit for number 5. But as long as you can email me and say, yes, I get it, I understood what you were saying, and just give me as much information to know that you understood. If you still don't understand, though, we can still continue to go over it and do more examples. But if you're thinking, yes, I got it for now, maybe you'll forget later, let me know. And let me kind of give me, in your email, you need to kind of describe it a little bit to me in your own words of how this works. Number 5, for using the Desmos and the graphing, and you would want to say, when you have two lines, wherever they intersect is the solution to the system of equations, and that you understand that. And then I'll go ahead and give you credit for this number 5, and it'll bring your quiz scores up. So keep reaching out to me with any questions you